Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Monday, June 23rd, after the Thunder just won the championship and 2 days before the draft because it went to a game seven. And so the offseason is right here after the NBA season ends. Celtic stuff probably going to kick off sometime soon, and we're ready to talk about it. How you doing, Sam?
Doing pretty good. Looking forward to the show today. We are officially in the off season for everybody, not just the Celtics. So might be time to be on the lookout for moves. Draft is coming up this week. Today we've got just some more trade discussion as it goes this time of year. We have a little bit of an update on Jason Tatum. We'll go through your emails, and then we will talk about Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And KD got traded. So stick around through all of it. We'll do the rat list too at the very end. Subscribe to the channel. We are here every single day with new content. Full pods dropping Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps during the season or up the morning after each game. And other videos are on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. We've been pumping out a lot of prospect previews ahead of Wednesday and Thursday's draft. So keep your eyes out for those if you're interested. We have probably a dozen of them at least up right now, so check them out. And also, if any breaking news happens, we will be here, so hit the bell.
Hello. Cutting in here, everybody. Sam and I recorded this whole pod before the Jrue Holiday-Anfernee Simons trade. We released a video on the trade as it happened and did a little bit of a live show last night, around 30 minutes. This episode was going to be about the Celtics prioritizing a Jrue Holiday trade. Clearly, they were, and they did it. But that means that whole conversation is now scrapped. So I'm going to insert the live reaction and video we did to the Anfernee Simons trade here. So if you already watched it as the individual video on the channel, you can skip ahead. Feel free to the email, to the Tatum stuff, to the chat about the NBA Finals and Haliburton and the KD Rockets trade, etc., because that will be after this initial reactions thing. So just as a heads up, I mean, it's 1 a.m, so we didn't have time to re-record stuff specifically for the pod. But if you already saw it, feel free to skip ahead. It's going to be the same reaction, but appreciate y'all. Enjoy the show. All right, we are here, and the Celtics just made their first trade of the offseason. According to Shams Charania of ESPN, they are trading Jrue Holiday to the Portland Trailblazers in exchange for Anfernee Simons and 2 second-round picks. Kind of out of nowhere, wasn't even on most people's radar. I guess that is just the Brad Stevens way. But Jrue Holiday is going back to Portland, where he never actually played a game and will now play some games, and Anfernee Simons is coming to Boston.
Big surprise. I was about to go to bed. The nerve. I almost wonder if anything else is going to happen tonight. I sure hope not. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks that they had to move Jrue Holiday just for the sake of moving Jrue Holiday. How much money does Anfernee Simons make?
$27 million next year, so it's saving $5 million, which isn't much. So that definitely means more stuff is coming in. I don't love Anfernee Simons. I don't love the type of player he is. The super high scoring, like not really a good defender, kind of a bad defender type of player. Objectively, this is probably pretty good value for Jrue Holiday. 2 second-round picks and a guy who, I mean, I guess it depends on what Anfernee Simons' value is around the league. Like, I don't know if they'll flip him. I don't know if they'll keep him. He's an objectively good basketball player, right? This past season averaged 19.3 points, 2.7 rebounds, 4.8 assists on 43-36 splits. Like, it's not the most efficient, but like, he's a good ball handler. He's a solid scorer. Like, who knows what he could look like in the right system as someone who doesn't have to be the guy, because he's never really had that chance in Portland. So it's like good value. I want to see what the second round picks are, and I want to see what else is in store, because right now it's just a little bit weird because there's still around $18 million over the second apron after trading Jrue Holiday, as per Keith Smith. So I need to see what else happens.
So here's the good thing is they didn't have to give up draft capital. Very good.
They got
draft
capital.
Very happy
about
in fact. That. Exactly. Like, you actually gained from getting off and saving $5 million. I wonder if this is like Yankee swap in The Office, where like they're trying to trade up to get the iPod, where they just keep trying to swap the gifts that they get. I don't know if Anfernee Simons is ever going to play a game for the Celtics. We'll just have to wait and see. Shams is tweeting again.
He
says
maybe. Sham says an extremely active offseason begins for the Celtics with the trade of Jrue Holiday, who played a critical role in their championship, et cetera, et cetera. Celtics remain engaged in trade talks surrounding multiple key players on the roster. Is there a chance Anfernee Simons never plays for the Celtics? Yes. I would be a little shocked if he doesn't make it to opening day. But I guess who knows? It's just really hard to tell at this point in the offseason.
Yeah. Man, I'm like kind of not shocked, but it's just weird. Like, I guess it's not that weird because how do we fall for it every time where it's like we didn't hear anything about the team that eventually was in the trade? Like, it usually doesn't happen where it's like the Celtics have been talking with this team, they've been talking with this team, they've been talking with this team. And considering that the Mavericks extended Daniel Gafford today and probably wouldn't have made a ton of sense for him to be coming back in the Celtics trade, this is all like starting to add up, if that makes sense. Like, they could have gotten Daniel Gafford. That was one of the mock trades we talked about early in the offseason. We're like, maybe reroute one of the guys to Brooklyn. Turns out, seems like Dallas wants to keep those guys. That's what the Steinline reported tonight.
They partially. That's what one of the sources this time I talked to reported. But Daniel Gafford extended at a very specific number, so he could remain trade eligible right now. So like
Yes.
that is the other part of it. So like he still could very well be traded. It's just really unclear at this point.
How old is Simons?
26.
26. He's not as young as people think he is. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Sorry, I'm like reading Twitter at the same time.
What are you looking at?
So Greeny, Oh, okay. So he's remain engaged in trade talks, blah blah blah, and then Greeny says that's fucked. Say who it is. So, all right, I understand now. I was out of the loop. Do you think that this was? I don't think this was like a known thing that it was happening. This Portland trade.
Anfernee Simons? No, I don't
Yeah.
think that was a known thing. Clearly not.
What do they do with that? I'm
mean,
sorry.
listen.
Like I don't have like hot takes just yet.
Listen, Anfernee Simons is a fine basketball player. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the not great at defense, high usage scoring guard. But at the same time, like, what does it look like in a situation where he is not the top option and has all of the like pressure on him, right? Is he going to be a great off the ball guy? Is he one of the best 6 men in the league? Like, for what it's worth, his contract is up after next season. So they traded for an expiring contract. So that is another thing. He makes $27.6 million next season and then is expiring. So they either have to worry about extending him or they have to, trade him this summer or next season, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know what that decision turns out to be. But that's kind of where they're at, right? Like, that is just what the decision is going to be. I'll throw on some Anfernee Simons highlights to keep us entertained if we'd like to look at the newest member of the Celtics very briefly here. But it's certainly a weird trade. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is every 3 Anfernee Simons made in the 24-25 season. It is the only like great mixtape I can find. There was another one that was like a minute 30, but I'll put this on just to take a look. So the salaries going out to Boston: Bobby Marks, Anfernee Simons, 25.9, then 27.7, UFA in 2026. Celtics get off the combined $72 million owed to Holiday in this 26-27 and 27-28 season. Projected $40 million in tax savings next year, $18 million below. Or I think this is meant to say above the second apron.
Above, definitely. Simons
is extension eligible, so that's all the context needed, and we can watch some threes too. Like I said, he's objectively a good scorer. It's weird. It's just very weird.
Okay, what's the number that you would extend Simons at?
If I'm like, he's probably worth like 25, 30 mil, but I don't think that's great. Like, I don't love that, but that's the market for a player like him. This is, put it this way. This is the context. Anfernee Simons was the Magic's dream. This was their dream before the Desmond Bane trade.
I just don't know what this achieves. Like, you saved $5 million. You still have a lot of work to do. Maybe they're just gonna like try and like downgrade ever so slightly with every guy they trade away. Celtics are getting a 2030 Knicks second rounder and a 2031 Blazers second rounder from Portland in addition to Simons. says Jake Fisher.
I mean, I think what it achieves is, I don't like, for what it's worth, I think, obviously, in my opinion, Jrue Holiday is the better player right now. I think more teams around the league would be interested in trading for Anfernee Simons. Actually, I don't even know if that's true, but it's easier to trade for Anfernee Simons, right? Because you don't have to worry about the long-term money of Jrue Holiday. You don't have to worry about a lot of that. He is younger. He is a better scorer, so teams that just want a scorer and a ball handler can like fathom that a little bit. Like, you have to be in a very specific part of your rebuild of your franchise to trade for a guy like Jrue Holiday. If you're an Anfernee Simons, like, you can convince maybe the Pistons if they want another guard who can shoot the ball that they want him. Okay. The Lakers maybe could want him. The Magic, if they want another guard who can handle the ball, they can improve their offense. The Heat could want, like, I feel like there's a more diverse selection of teams that could be interested in trading for Anfernee Simons. And at the very least, right, like, you got 2 second-round draft picks, shedded $5 million in salary, and still have a tradable guy.
Yeah. Okay. So this just becomes more of a Porzingis conversation then, where it's not about Porzingis, but the discussion is similar, where it's like, hey, maybe Porzingis is easy to trade because you can talk a team into taking a swing at him. The same could be said for Simons. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense to me. Because I'm still like, just like, I don't really know what this achieves. Like, you still have to save so much money.
Well, Simons is a good player. Like, you have to save good money too, but like, I feel like we're getting lost in that as the main goal, which is still the main goal, 100%. You got a good player back in a trade. Like, you got a legitimate, like, more than rotation piece player, like a starter caliber player back in a deal for Jrue Holiday and 2 second-round picks. So at that point, right, like, as much as trading Jrue or whatever, like, if this is truly a retooling year, like people are worrying about, even though I don't love Anfernee Simons personally, like, objectively a good NBA player, a starter caliber NBA player in most situations. And if the Celtics are retooling to get that and 2 second-round picks back for Jrue Holiday and his contract and get off that long-term money, I get it. Like, I understand it.
Yeah, I mean, if there was no CBA, this would be really cool, in my opinion. But, like, you still, I'm sorry, like, for the listeners, I'm just babbling and, like, fumbling around. They still have, like, more, like, moves to make. Like, they have to get under the second apron. And this didn't, like, I think if you got, like, 2 players in return, it would make it a little bit easier for you because you could, like, trade one of them, and it would cut your return in half, and so on. There's no, like, real consolidation that happens with this.
Well, there's going to be more. This is not the end. Like, we are living in a moment like where it is. This is all we know. This is absolutely not going to be the end all be all of what the Celtics do this summer. But the fact that they were able to get another solid player, probably a positive value player back, and 2 seconds in a trade is a win, right? And until we know what the rest of the offseason looks like, it's just hard to know. I mean, shit, Brad Stevens, we spent 4 weeks talking about what could the Celtics do, and not once did we bring up this name. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen from this point on?
I mean, I don't hate it from, like, a fitting into the team perspective. I think there's work to be done defensively, of course. But, like, I mean, we're watching him make a bunch of threes. He made 200 threes last season. Terp is tweeting out everything. He says career 38.1% three-point shooter. Does it on a high volume, too. There's upside to bringing him in terms of offensive fit. Like, you probably will need a little bit of a scoring punch next year with no Tatum. So I suppose this is the first domino to fall we're slowly finding out what the team is going to look like next year. And I also think this means for the draft that a guard, at least for the moment, is not entirely the biggest needed. Like, it wasn't ever the biggest need, but you could talk yourself into it, depending on what the return was going to be for Holiday. But they got a guy that is clearly, if he stays, going to play rotation minutes and be hopefully a big part of what they do next year. So you're probably not going to see them going crazy to trade up for a guard, or like maybe the Walter Clayton people, like, your dream is dead, sorry. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to burn one of their picks on a guard at this point. So, I mean, that's good news for you because you have a couple different wings that you like, and it's good news for me because I have a couple different big guys I like. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm still not like sure how I overall feel about this. I will say I'm far happier knowing that they didn't have to give anything up besides Jrue to get off of his contract.
I think that's the key. I think the fact that they were able to trade Jrue, get a starter caliber, rotation caliber player back, and get 2 picks back is a win. And from here on out, we just have to trust Brad knows what he's doing and will make the necessary moves to get it done. Shout out Anfernee Simons, newest member of the Celtics. Before we continue, I need to tell you guys about PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action this baseball season now because basketball season's over. The Thunder just won the title, and you could have been picking more or less on their points, rebounds, and assists, and probably would have been feeling pretty good. But now, shift your attention, if you'd like to baseball. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for shut up to win up to 2,000x your cash. Sam and I do the PrizePicks every single pregame show during the basketball season. I'll be tuning into the action while I watch the Red Sox this season now, picking more on Roman Anthony, Sedan Rafaelo, who's been red hot lately. So make sure to check it out. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure as well. And when my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. It also offers weekly promotions that lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday, which is every Tuesday. PrizePicks discounts, select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Next thing. Torrey Craig went on the Garden Report and said that Tatum is feeling pretty good. Said just to see him in good spirits, see him smiling, laughing, joking around, and just having normal conversation, talk about the offseason, what I'm up to, and yeah, I just look forward to his recovery, the progress he's making, and it's always good seeing him in good spirits. So it sounds like Tatum is at least doing okay amidst his long-winded recovery.
It's crazy how long it's been. It's been over a month, like 5 weeks now. Jake and I were talking about it last night on the playback and also on the instant reaction. I think we kind of like we're looking ahead to next season, which I guess we can also do here. He's had a little bit of time to recover. Like with Haliburton hurting himself last night, just the instant comparisons of like, oh, there's no way Haliburton is going to play next season versus the Tatum, well, maybe. Like, first of all, the difference in the situation is Haliburton gets hurt in Oklahoma City and not New York City, where all the great doctors are and surgeons, and they didn't really have immediate access
in
to
a month's difference.
A month's difference is significant, exactly. So, like, I don't know. I know Tatum is going to work his ass off to get back on the court, and, like, by all accounts, like, that's what's happening. He's a freak. He can't sit still. Like, there are people that just cannot enjoy downtime, and Tatum is one of them. The Eastern Conference, unfortunately, is like wide open next season. Like it really feels that way. Depending on what the Celtics do, and it's incredibly difficult to have these conversations because we don't know who's going to be on the team next year. Tatum coming back could make them once again a favorite to win the conference, but there's caveats to that where do you really want him to come back with a bunch of pressure to perform? And like, can you expect him to be at the same level he was before he got hurt when he comes back? Especially like in whatever small sample window he's going to have at the end of the year. Like if Tatum does come back, it's probably going to be March or April. It's not going to be like January. He's got a couple months to ramp up and he's going to be good to go for the playoffs. Like there's going to be a lot of like getting thrown in the deep end that comes along with whatever return we see. And it still might be best that he just sits out the entire time and goes until the 26-27 season before he debuts again. But I trust that the team and his personal team have the best treatment options, the best rehab options, the best strengthening exercises, and everything is being done to the best of their ability. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I still struggle to believe that Tatum's going to play next season. I just don't think it's smart. Like, and we'll talk about it later in the show, but especially what happens like when you play on injuries and that risk, like even if it's coming back and recovering, like it just doesn't seem worth it. Like if the Celtics are in like the only way I could fathom it making any sort of sense is if the Celtics are like actually in a spot where they could maybe make a run at a title. But even then, is it worth the risk? Like, is it worth Tatum risking another months, X amount of months of recovery? Like I would rather him just get a full year and a half, year plus, whatever you want to call it, and just like not risk it. Because as we saw in finals game 7, like the risk reward factor is a serious thing that has to be considered when you play on injuries, unfortunately. So it's good to hear that he's doing well. It's good to hear that he's in good spirits. I still don't think he will or should play next season. I'm not a doctor. I'm not Tatum. I can't feel the pain he's in. I can't feel, how he's going through his recovery, obviously. But I don't know. You tear an Achilles like that, and immediately people, I think it was his dad or something, jumped on ESPN or talked to Mark Spears and was like, yeah, 8 to 9 months. It's like, whoa, it's an aggressive timeline.
There's just so many things that need to happen in that range.
But I like the optimism, but just like, and listen, if he's in 8 months, like fine, and he's like, yeah, I'm like actually like good. It's like a really unbelievable recovery time because I'm 27 years old and I'm healthy and I don't deal with a lot of injuries and my body heals fast. And sure, fine. If it is genuinely there's nothing else I can do towards my recovery, fuck it, right? Like then he'll be fine and he can go. But rushing back, like even if you have like an itch on your calf, it is not worth it. Like it has to be the absolute, like nothing could go wrong. Like you are fine, fully healed before you even like think about coming back to the court. So we'll see what happens. I just don't think he should play next year.
I'm sure we'll get more and more updates as the summer goes, and there will be the gauging of how open it feels next season. And I mean, you just know as soon as Tatum has like the yellow light, he's going to want to start going a little bit. I don't think he's going to get immediately thrown back onto the parquet, but he may be at the Auerbach Center doing some real work and then testing out, seeing what they can do. I just feel like he's the type of guy that is going to push the limits in probably a safe way, but he's still going to be like chomping at the bit to get out there. So, I mean, I'm with you. I think they should try and just let him get the 1.5 year rest and then give it a go in the 26-27 season. It's just the safest way.
Agree.
Probably will allow him to fully return to form in the best way. But I mean, we just have to wait and see what happens.
It's just tough, but it is what it is. Let's check out y'all's emails. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. We only have one today, and it is from RJ. Shout out RJ. Let's take a look to see what he had to say. RJ says, a few general thoughts about the offseason. Morning, folks. Still no great trade ideas for me or draft pick choices, but I do have a couple of broad thoughts about the offseason moves. If the Celtics are including draft capital in a trade, sending up Porzingis or Holiday, it needs to be in conjunction with the third team buying the salaries Boston is getting back. If Jrue goes out to the Clippers and they send back Bogdanovich, for example, I don't object to Brad giving the Nets some sort of draft choice to eat his salary, but thinking that Boston has to attach a draft pick to Jrue or KP for another team to be interested is just silly. I don't know what the timing of the trades will look like, but I would imagine any trade announced before the draft could give some clues about the Celtics' plans for re-signing Luke or Al. If Boston is getting a decent big man back like Daniel Gafford, then I'd strongly doubt both Cornette and Horford are in Boston's plans. If the turn is Drew Eubanks instead, don't pack away those 40 or 42 jerseys just yet. Same thing on draft night. Even with Psycho Joe's noted love of rookies, I guess this is sarcasm. Cockburner, Wolf, or Reynaud getting selected probably means Al is out the door. Whatever Brad has in store, no one has likely guessed it yet. That's all from me. Be well, RJ. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're getting a lot of information over the next few days of what the Celtics are going to do. Obviously, the draft is going to tell us a lot, and from there, it's just a matter of what it looks like beyond. So,
with specifically the salaries coming back and whatever trade happens, the good thing about getting like a Bogdanovich back is if you have him on your team, you can still get under the second apron by trading him before the deadline. So while Bogdanovich's salary may not sound super appealing on July 7th or whenever like that would happen, right? It may be really appealing to a team that feels like they just need one more offensive piece to catapult them into the next level of contention.
Yes, but then the problem is you have to match salaries a lot more exact mid-season because rosters are full.
That is true.
So it's like you can't really dump the salary in the middle of the season because they're gonna have to send stuff back. And not a lot of teams, like no teams. I don't think teams aren't really allowed to have like cap space
That's
in the
actually
middle of the
very
season.
true. Good point. Thank you for
So it's
correcting
just
me.
tough.
I still think there like maybe like some value in it,
It's
but
the same
it's not the
reason.
same value that I was
It's the
hoping.
same reason I'm averse to the Porzingis save and trade at the deadline thing. Like in theory, yeah, but like it's just gonna be infinitely harder to find the right situation, which could bring the price down or whatever. So,
And I'm not really in I think you either get rid of him like after the Latvia Eurobasket showcase that we're all looking forward to, or you keep him and then hope that he resigns for less. I don't think it's like, oh man, things will get better as the deadline approaches. That just doesn't feel like the most realistic thing, like you've said. But
yeah. And I mean, listen, man, even the Latvia thing's dangerous. I know people are saying just wait and see. I think if you could have a trade for him that you like now, you just rip it, because the best case is what you have outlined of he plays well and his value goes up. The worst case is he gets hurt and you're fucked. Like, and I'm not saying that's a likely scenario, but it is Kristaps Porzingis, and he is about to get on a basketball court. It is not impossible. If he sucks, then his value go down. If he's hurt, then his value goes to 0. And if he's like, it's a dangerous game to be playing. And is it one the Celtics might play? Sure, but it is objectively dangerous.
yeah, I think it's good that we have balancing opinions on it.
We'll see what happens.
I'm probably too positive, and it needs to be taken back.
He could play well. He could play great. But if he gets hurt, you cannot trade him. No one's gonna take that. You would have to attach picks to trade him. And I'm not saying he's definitely gonna get hurt, but if there's any guy that would get hurt in that spot, you're looking at him, right? So it's just it's walking a tightrope a little bit. But anyways, let's move to the NBA. The Oklahoma City Thunder just won the NBA championship last night as we're recording this. Shout out Thunder. I mean, they were the best team in basketball for the entire season. Shea's insane. J-Dub played great. Chet had a rough finals, but he had, I think, a bunch of blocks in Game 7.
He had a pretty good Game 7, for what it's worth.
Caruso was a god for the entire finals. Shout out OKC. They deserved to win the championship. Credit to them. Incredible season. 84 win season is insane. Celtics won, what, 80 last year? Like, this Thunder team won more games than that Celtics team, and that's a crazy thing to think about. So, shout out to them. I just wish Game 7 was less sombersome.
Fake Mickey Mouse ring, injury ring, clearly. No, Jack's right. They were the best team all season long. They were dominant. They played the Celtics really well. I feel like it would be very tough for us to sit here from this perspective and be like, man, it really feels like the Celtics would have beat this team. Like, sure, you can look at the finals and be like, some of their guys were droppers. They didn't play up to their standard. Chet being one of them. J-Dub had really good moments, really bad moments. He was like more of a coin flip guy. But Shea was mostly good. And Shea was really good yesterday, even though he was not efficient yesterday.
No one's talking about that, though.
Well, yeah, I guess. Like,
well,
I don't know.
I'm saying you compare Tatum stats in the finals to Shea stats in the finals with the efficiency, and the way people are talking about it is insane.
People just love to hate Tatum. It's so weird. But Shea yesterday was not efficient. 8 of 27, whatever he was. He was efficient when they needed him to be efficient. At the beginning of the game, Indiana is one at full strength. They've come out very impressive. They came out swinging. Haliburton makes 3 threes before he tears his Achilles. And OKC needed somebody to keep pushing them forward. Granted, with all of the like shenanigans that happened in the first half, the injury, they go down into the half down 1. They come out in the third quarter. They get some stops. They get some offensive rebounds. The game gets spaced out a little bit. And then all of a sudden, the other guys look more comfortable. Like, oh, I can actually look at it now. Last night, I couldn't look at it when I was talking about it because the box score wasn't fixed yet.
What are you looking for?
Just the first half stats. So, in the first half, J-Dub, go ahead, you can tell me, 2 of 7 for 5 points. 0 of 2 from 3. Really wasn't making much of an impact. Chet 2 of 4. He had a fine game. Lou Dort 1 of 4 from 3. Shea was 5 of 12, had 16 points, 7 assists. Like, he was the guy pushing everybody forward. And they desperately needed him. And also Caruso. Caruso had a really big start to Game 7. Made 2 threes right off rip. And helped them stay afloat despite Indiana just firing from the get-go. Once they got the game to 9 points, 11 points in the third quarter when Indy started to melt, then J-Dub started to have himself unclench, right? Then the other guys started to look more comfortable making shots, and the OKC machine looked like it was well-oiled again. There wasn't the weird hang-ups, the weird, hey, they might be too young for this. They may not be ready for this stage yet. It was all gone because the game was spaced out, and Shea's stability in the first half enabled that.
No, Shea was great. Shea was great. The whole team played a solid game. Like they did exactly what they needed to do. They held the team to 91 points. Like that's what they've done all season. They played great defense, and that's kind of how they roll. Credit the Thunder. They like. Did you watch the celebration and stuff? They just didn't care.
I was doing instant reacts with First to the Floor.
They did not care at all. Like they just didn't do anything. Like there's a report from Marcus Thompson, like all the players just kind of left, like they barely popped champagne, like we just didn't give a shit. It was like completely tame. So they didn't care. They were just whatever.
How much
they celebrated a little bit.
An injury plays into that. Not so much that it mitigates what they achieved, but it kind of it made the rest of the night really weird. Like Game 7 was this 2-day break in between games. We were all sitting here thinking about it. People are tweeting about it. Like the hype was insane because the series just over-delivered on every level. Nobody expected it to be that intense, that fun. Like when the Thunder lost Game 1, we were all like, whoa, I guess it's not going to be a sweep. That's cool. An extra game of basketball at least. And then it goes 7 games. Indiana looks poised to at least make this go down to the wire in Game 7 because they came out really strong. Haliburton was hot. And then he goes down. The scene was brutal. ESPN couldn't stop showing it. They were like, hey, do you guys want to see this again? It was like they had the Impractical Jokers in the ears of the production team. They were like, now show Haliburton on the ground.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
It was so you watched the game on cable, right? You had the commercials and everything?
Yeah, it was on YouTube TV.
So in the playback, even in the finals, there's no commercials. So Haliburton gets hurt. And then the game's about to come back. And it's just the Jumbotron feed. It's make some noise, get loud. It's just so uncomfortable and awkward. It felt like it should be an I Think You Should Leave sketch where Tim Robinson's trying to gas up a room of people that just saw a tragedy happen. So maybe that took some of the wind out of the players' sails. But I didn't really watch the celebrations live. I didn't see the emotions of the players. But I think it's so weird that they wouldn't be excited about this. Is it something that
I don't know.
They plan this?
It could just be their personalities. Some people are just less emotional people in general, internally, and maybe that's part of it. I don't think I saw one. Nobody was crying. J-Dub cried, but nobody else.
We should have more crying.
It is what it is. Maybe they just don't. They're just not as emotional as people, and that's fine. But it was just an odd scene. Also, I thought it was cool. You see Shea's golden shoes hanging from his neck, whatever.
Yeah, I did.
Can you imagine if Jason Tatum hung golden shoes around his neck last year? The slander that would have ensued. Can you just think about it? Think about how much shit he would have gotten.
Discussion. But I know why it keeps happening because people killed him.
Am I wrong?
For everything. People were, in fairness to Shea, people were killing Shea last night. I saw people saying, man, Tatum then Shea, there's really no aura. These guys aren't fucking comedians. They're basketball players. You're not going to give them a microphone. They're not going to captivate an audience. Always. Some guys have it. Some guys don't. It doesn't matter.
And also, isn't Shea the aura king or whatever? Isn't that what everyone fucking calls him?
No,
Anthony, what are we doing?
In fairness to Anthony Edwards was the aura king. Everybody loves the aura with that guy. I don't know. I really don't care. They won. They were a great team. What do people want?
They want more, man. They want more.
Do they want him to
Anyways,
be like Pat McAfee with the microphone? Like, is that what they want?
I don't know. Before we continue, I'll tell you about Game Time before we continue talking about this. Game Time is the best place to get all your ticketing needs this baseball season now that the NBA season is over. Let me pull up Game Time just to show you guys and everybody watching at home what exactly I'm talking about and what my favorite features of the Game Time app are, or you can go to gametime.co. If you'd like to use it on browser. Let's take a look at Red Sox. That's my favorite thing. I'm going to be going to plenty of games this season. Red Sox, you got, or anything on Game Time. My favorite features is that you can see the exact seat you are getting if you click on the potential ticket you're going to purchase. You can see what you'll see from that seat. Zone Deals allows you to pick a zone in the stadium, pay a certain price, and then you'll get seated randomly in that zone. The fire emblem means it's the cheapest deal in the stadium. And this super deal means it's the best bang for your buck based on what Game Time believes is the best value for your money in terms of the seat you're getting in the stadium. On top of that, you get last minute deals, which means you can save up to 60% buying last minutes for sports, concerts, comedy, and theater. And that's right, it's not just sports with Game Times. You can go to concerts, comedy events, theaters, anything like that. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Okay. Continuing with the finals, obviously the Haliburton injury and everything. It was just, I mean, it was a gut punch, right? Like you watch it go down and someone's hurt, and everyone, like I was watching my roommates, it was just like, no, like as soon as they panned his face, and like you could see him mouth the words like, yeah, it did, like he knew it popped. Oh my god, it just like was. I can't imagine like for teammates or anybody in the arena, because like as someone just watching as a fan, I was like, fuck, like it killed the mood. It was that was like the closest thing to like genuine heartbreaking moment that we've seen in a long time. Like like on that stage, like Tatum too. Like yeah, obviously, but I'm sorry, like you can't like write that script. Like he hits a game winner every single round of the playoffs, drags his Pacers like a team like to the NBA championship against a team that everyone thinks they're going to just get swept. Brings them to Game 7, and then he like, fuck, man, like, fuck, that's horrible.
It was awful. He went down. There was like a moment where I was like, oh, maybe he just fell, and then he wasn't getting up, and still wasn't getting up.
I thought he just turned the ball over.
Yeah, I just thought he turned the ball over. And then you see the replay, you see like the jiggle in the calf, and you knew immediately what happened, and you could tell by his mannerisms. And in case you missed it the first time, ESPN showed you 10 more. Sucked to see his dad down in the tunnel. Sucked to see him on the crutches after the game. It's just not at all what we had hoped for with Game 7. But like it was always a possibility. Like that was a risk that, I mean, everyone was aware of, even though like there are a lot of people out there saying there's not necessarily correlation between calf strains and Achilles tears, but my guess would be there kind of is, because if the muscle's tight, it's pulling more on the tendon. You know what? who am I to argue with a fucking doctor?
No, for sure. It's not.
who am I to say?
You're right. No, like I don't care how much likely or unlikely it was, though. Like just that scene, like in that spot, in that moment, like this dude has, like I said, like worked not only his entire life, but like this Pacers team was the most fun team to watch in the playoffs and since I've watched the playoffs, in my opinion. Like this was the outside of like Celtics, just because of like my own internal rooting interest or the joy of covering the team. This Pacers team was the most fun I've had watching playoff basketball ever. Genuinely, this was incredible. I mean, we're talking about the ridiculous game 1 or game 5 to close out the Bucks, where they came back from down 9 in like 5. Or a minute or whatever it was. I was about to use 5 minutes as a hyperbole, and it was less than that. That's ridiculous, right? The Cavs series with the crazy step back shot to win one of those games, and then packing up the 1-seeded Cavs, the ridiculous shot at MSG with the choke celebration, the game winner in game 1 of the NBA Finals where they literally did not lead the entire fucking game. All of that, and then you rout them in game 7, or game 6, come out red hot in game 7, and then Tyrese Haliburton tears his Achilles. Like, fuck, man. Like that is unbelievable levels of heartbreak. Like that is the shit you write in a fucking book or in a movie as like a devastating climax moment of fuck. Like, holy shit, this is horrible. And now, not only did he not get the chance to help his team win a championship in game 7, and they didn't end up winning, but he's probably not going to play, almost certainly not going to play basketball for all of next season, just like Jason Tatum. Like,
he's not playing next year.
It's like Tatum. Like, he's not playing next year. It is devastating for Haliburton, for the Pacers, for I don't know how far after the game that you watched, but like, shout out TJ McConnell for that third quarter. He was the only person who could do anything. TJ McConnell is that guy. Watching TJ McConnell walk off the court crying, like hug his mom, and then go like hug Reggie Miller and Haliburton, like I was getting emotional. Like that, it was just so like fucked to watch, like how brutal that moment was and everything that transpired for Haliburton and the Pacers. I feel bad for the Pacers. I feel bad for the fans. Obviously, I feel bad for Haliburton. It was terrible.
Sadly, like the real discussion we had is like, I mean, we could sit here all day and be like, so sad. No one's going to disagree. Makes the Eastern Conference next year very interesting, especially from our perspective here in Celtic land.
That Pelicans trade now.
That's what I immediately said on the show. I said on this show too. I was like, they made that trade after the calf strain came up. Like after that was like revealed. I think I even said it to you. I was like, is this a safety net if he like hurts himself in the rest of the finals? Sharp play by Indiana.
Unfortunately.
Too bad they'll never have the draft rights to Mojave King.
Yeah. But now Tatum Achilles, Haliburton Achilles. And I mean, it's not like he was amazing, but Lillard Achilles, like you don't have that either. So the Bucks don't have a running mate for Giannis in any capacity. Darius Garland's out for the first few months of the season. New York, go. Like what is this? Like what's gonna happen now?
Let's all calm down a minute.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is the only team left in the Eastern Conference. Ironically, like
you don't think the Cavs have a?
No, they do. I was saying without like any injury holding
Pistons?
them back for a stretch of the season. I'm talking about like the top 4 or 5 teams. Like every single of the top 5 teams had a severe injury this playoff run. All of them. All 5.
Absolutely.
Except for the Knicks. Is that like the Knicks fire Tibbs and everybody else gets hurt? Is that like that's the joke now? That's like how it works. I don't know, man. It is wide open. That Desmond Bane trade is looking a lot more like the Magic are going to go very deep into the playoffs now. The Magic, the Cavs, the Pistons, the Knicks. Shit, man, the Pacers could. The Pacers were great with everybody, like the Celtics too. I mean,
like they competed in the finals, Game 7 without Haliburton. Like, there was a long stretch that I was like, "Whoa, they might win."
As silly as it sounds, the Raptors, they got Brandon Ingram. Like they've got, if they're healthy, like they could at least make the playoffs, right? Like they'd at least push for a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. I don't know.
They should be able to.
Anything can happen in the East. Who knows anymore?
So with the East, right? Like, let's power rank them, right? Like, okay, we can do tiers because I don't really know. It's Cleveland, New York, top. Maybe Orlando, like hanging from the ledge of the tier.
I'd put Orlando right there. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Then the
Celtics,
Pistons are lurking very close behind.
Celtics, Indy, Pistons.
Celtics, Indy, Pistons. Okay,
sure.
I think Philly should also be there.
Oh, I forgot about them. Yeah, I'll put them with Celtics, Indy, Pistons, Philly.
The 76ers, like, if I was a 76ers fan, I would be like having my first day of school outfit like laid out on my bed. Like, this is their moment. This is as good of a chance the Philadelphia 76ers have had to be the best team in the conference or the conference champion probably since 2019. as much as they underachieved
Yeah.
and had a season from hell this past year, Embiid is a wild card if he's going to play. Max is a great player. McCain was great before he hurt his ACL. Paul George is not worth the money, but maybe he can give you some sort of production. You have the number 3 pick in the draft, and the list kind of goes on here. Like, Philadelphia could be primed to make their first conference finals in the Embiid era next year. I like them as like a team everyone's forgetting about team. I also like the Pistons, obviously. I think the Pistons pushed the Knicks really well in the playoffs, had good standing in that series, and they very well could have won it. Does Atlanta kind of emerge as maybe a team? Weren't they like pretty decent when Jalen Johnson wasn't hurt?
This was a very quick. This is how I would rank the Eastern Conference teams very quickly. I did this in like 10 seconds as you were just talking. If I had to right now, this is around what I would do, roughly. Knicks, Cavs, Magic, Pistons, Celtics, Sixers, Pacers, Bucks, Raptors, Heat, Hawks, Hornets, Bulls, Nets, Wizards. And again, this was in 10 seconds, so I could easily be swayed. But I think this is roughly where I would do it. Yeah, I think this is where I stand at this moment in time.
I kind of like having this, and like maybe every week in the offseason we're like, what do we think? They added this role player. Oh, they drafted this guy. Does this elevate this team over that team? It's kind of such a funny nothing thing to do. But I think this is going to be the most fun conversation over the next 12 months is like the Eastern Conference.
Well, and the West
Western
for very
Conference,
different reasons.
But it's such a shit show that all the teams are at the same level.
It's for the opposite reason, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. It's tough. The Heat. I mean, we can talk about it next. You want to talk about the KD trade?
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of the West.
Yeah, KD. The Suns traded Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the 10th pick in the draft, and 5 second-round picks. Listen, I get they were in a tough spot. Oh, you can still see the sheet. I get they were in a tough spot because Kevin Durant already asked out and like already said I'm not going to go. So like getting a guy like Jalen Green back in the trade is a win in and of itself. Getting the 10th pick is a win. You got 1 first-round pick back for Durant. Yuck. Like that's not good. That's disgusting. I don't like it. I don't hate it. I get it. Love it for Houston. I love it for Houston. Houston's going to be a fucking problem next year, man. Their whole thing was offense, and you went out and got one of the 5 best offensive players of all time, who is still putting up the most efficient stats you'll ever see from a fucking 7-foot elite scorer. You roll out Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Tyrese, and Alperen Şengün. Like, good fucking luck. Like, that's gross. So shout out the Rockets. Suns getting 1 first back in return. It's top 10 pick, so it's fine, but I don't love. And we can dissect everything else, but yeah.
So yesterday was like a really fun opportunity for me. I got to argue with my non-basketball friends in the group chat about like what we thought of this trade. One of my friends is like, man, what an overpay for KD. 37 years old, locker room cancer, like whatever. And I was like, oh man, like I get to school somebody. And like those of you that are fans of the show, I'm not the schooling type. I'm the let's all laugh together type. Let's talk about it. Kevin Durant. 27 points a game last year. He was 50-40 club, if I'm not mistaken. Like, very efficient last year. Kevin Durant is not at fault for Bradley Beal making $50 million with a no trade clause. Kevin Durant is not at fault, politics aside, of Kyrie not getting vaccinated and Brooklyn not being able to play games, the team not wanting to extend Kyrie, and then not wanting to be in Brooklyn because he didn't know if he was going to have supporting castmates past the Kyrie contract. It's not really his fault that these situations have not gone great since leaving the Warriors. The Warriors thing, if you want to point to that as like a serious flaw on his resume, go ahead. Like, probably shouldn't be that difficult to get along with people when you're winning that much. That I can agree with. Don't really think it was his fault in OKC. Would have liked it if he came to the Celtics instead of the Warriors in 2016. But I think KD probably gets a little bit too much hate, and he was very good last year, despite the Suns being butt ass. And he's proven throughout his career that he's not just a good stats, bad team guy. He's a good stats, good team guy. He's an MVP guy. He's been to the finals. He's won finals MVP twice. He can fit in with teams that are very good. So I think to be like, man, what an overpay. I actually don't think the Suns got enough for KD. Depends on how you feel about Jalen Green. But, like, you only got one first-round pick for Kevin Durant? What?
Jalen Durant or Jalen Green, boo. Jalen Green, boo.
I lean in the boo camp as well. But I think there's avenues where you could be like, man, like, we're talking about the draft this week, and he's 23, and some of these guys in the draft are literally 23. But those guys in the draft that are 23 aren't going to make $33 million next year.
Yeah, no, I don't like Jalen Green. I've been on the I don't like Jalen Green train too. This is not a new thing because of the KD trade. I think I've multiple times called him a supercharged Jordan Clarkson, which is a fine player, not a $30 million player. It's just not. I mean, we're talking about his breakout season this year was him jumping up from 33% from three to 35% from three. Ooh, like you got me, like great.
Whoa.
He's an inefficient, high usage scoring guard, and I think those players have a very limited ceiling. You could be fine. Like I think you could be like it's an imperfect comparison, but like Kemba was that archetype, like a very inefficient, high scoring guard, but he was great.
Oh yeah,
but like meh. I don't see it, especially alongside Devin Booker. Disgusting, gross, awful. With Bradley Beal, Jalen Green, Devin Booker is the most nasty backcourt in the league.
Do we think the Suns also got the Big X the Plug song that was on the Wingstop commercial that Jalen Green's in with this
Maybe
trade? They
get
better
the
have.
rights, get some extra money,
exclusive
pay out.
rights to
You know
play
they
in
went
the arena.
deeper into the luxury tax with this trade.
To get Big X the Plug in the deal.
Yeah, and they got to get him.
That is a crazy thing. How do you manage to go deeper into financial hell in a trade like this?
I don't know, man. They got the 10th pick. I don't hate that. They could get a good player like a Cedric Coward, a Nick Clifford, Carter Bryant. There's going to be a Derek Queen if they want to take a chance on the center. Could be fine. I just don't know what they do now because it looks pretty gross.
I didn't particularly see any specific source on this, but I did see discussion online yesterday after the deal. Also, speaking of online in the deal, yesterday I was enjoying the content from Nick's Film School that was at Fanatics Fan Fest, and Andrew Claudio and McRae were there. And then KD was on stage, and I knew KD was on stage before the trade happened. Like, as I got the notification, my first thought was, holy shit, he's on stage speaking at this event. And his reaction was like, I mean, pretty much what you would expect from a guy who just got traded. He was like, oh, like, really? Oh, okay, cool. Like, that was pretty much the extent of it. He was like, wait, you guys aren't, like, messing with me? So that was, like, a pretty cool wrinkle.
Then they asked him,
do you think it was on purpose?
No. Then they asked him, I think it was just a happenstance. Like, that's when the trade got submitted and whatever. But I also think, like, or they asked him, like, what's your favorite song? He goes, Raining in Houston. Right? That's my favorite song. He's too quick on his feet, man. What a guy. What a goat.
I love KD. KD gets too much hate.
Great.
If you complain about KD being on Twitter, you're a loser.
Did you see the package that the Heat said, no, we don't want to give that up for KD?
The Heat are like the Michael Jordan of the we almost got the guy.
Did you see it, though?
Want to trade anybody?
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
So, for listeners, the Heat balked and said, no, we don't want to give that much up at Jaime Jaquez, Haywood Highsmith, Nikola Jovic, and the 20th overall pick and future draft capital. That's fucking embarrassing. That's malpractice that you said, nah, we don't want to give that up. You kept Kel'el Ware. You kept Tyler Hero. You kept Andrew Wiggins. You kept Bam Adebayo. You could have rolled out a starting lineup of Tyler Hero, those guys, Hero, Wiggins, KD, Adebayo, Kel'el Ware with Davion Mitchell off the bench, Duncan Robinson off the bench. That's a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference next year. In this Eastern Conference, they could have gone for a championship. I genuinely believe that. With Eric Spoelstra coaching Kevin Durant, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo in this Eastern Conference, they could have gone for a championship. I 100% believe that. Ridiculous.
Shout out to him, man. Just the Heat holding on to their Heat culture guys. By the way, Heat culture guys who probably wouldn't be great if they weren't on the Heat. I mean, they probably won't be great anyways next year because it's not like Miami's going to be any good. But I did see discourse yesterday about, like, man, now Phoenix really might be in the market for a center. What do we think?
The Suns? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know why. Like, if they're desperate, I'd rather get a center who is actually definitely. I'm so like low on Porzingis trades because if I'm a team in desperate need of a center, I want a center I know is going to be on the court, and maybe he will be, but I need a center I know will be on the court. That's my whole thing, and you never know with Porzingis, and that's why it's hard. And the Celtics were able to make a trade for him because they had the luxury. They had Horford, they had Cornette, they had guys they knew could play, and so it was like more of a safety valve. The Suns trading for Kristaps would not be a safety valve. He would be their starting center. If he got hurt, they'd be fucked again. That's why it's hard for me to wrap my head around a positive value Porzingis trade in a lot of these situations.
Where do you stand on Booker? What do you think?
On what?
Booker. What do you think? Just in general.
I think he's really good.
Okay, so you have Booker, who's really good. Beal's overpaid, but he's still like, if Bradley Beal was making like $15 million a season, people wouldn't be like, holy shit, this guy's the devil, right? By trading Kevin Durant, you have given yourself financial flexibility, albeit not to be flexible with the best guys ever, because Beal's still making.
The Suns have no chance to compete in the Western Conference next year. If this is where you're going, the Suns have a 0% chance to compete in the Western Conference. I would give them maybe a 5% chance to make the playoffs, or maybe less. So, and that might be playing. So like,
right, it might be playing, but like they don't have to bottom out, and I also don't think they have reason to bottom out because they don't have their own draft picks.
They don't have any reason to bottom out. But that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know if we're still talking about a Porzingis trade here, if we're just talking generally. I don't think a Porzingis trade makes sense. Sure, generally, fine. Like, generally, retool, right? Sign a couple of free agents, take a couple chances on guys, hope the 10th picks pans out, really lean into that, hope Jalen Green takes a step forward, and you don't bottom out. You see what you got after that, and maybe you make extra trades to be more competitive. The Porzingis thing is like, if you are making a trade to actively get better in a spot where you already don't have a lot of wiggle room of whether or not you'll be good, I don't want to take a risk on a guy like Porzingis. I want to take a guy like go trade for Nick Claxton, where you know he's going to play. Maybe he's not as good, as high a ceiling as Porzingis, but 25 mil a season, really elite defensive center, gonna rim run really well for you. He'll give you that on offense and floor spacing, right? Go make a run at a Miles Turner sign and trade, right? You know he'll be on the court. He's not the best guy, but like you know he'll be solid for you.
I mean,
if you
bad time for Miles Turner.
I would, at this moment in time, after everything, I would rather add Miles Turner than Kristaps Porzingis.
Depends on how much you're paying Miles Turner.
I don't care. You could pay them both $30 million. I'd rather have Miles Turner.
No.
You're blindsided by your love by your appreciation for Kristaps.
No, I think Turner was very bad in this finals, and I think he was inconsistent during the playoffs, even though he did have good moments.
Kristaps was the worst player on the court in both series, and I know he was sick. And he's always sick. He's always
injured. Not.
There's always something. There's always
injured
something.
And sick is different. This
When's
isn't
the last
like
time
he
there
hurt
wasn't
his
something?
knee again.
But I don't care what it is anymore. It's no longer like, oh, this is a one-off. This is a one-off. You can only have so many one-offs. There's like 40 million one-offs. It's not. They're not all one-offs anymore. It's just like
they're not all one-offs. The sickness is a one-off. The sickness is not.
Sure.
He has another lower leg injury. What the fuck? He's never going to be healthy. He got sick.
If it's not a sickness, it's a lower leg injury. If it's not a lower leg injury, it's an ankle. If it's not an ankle, he's bleeding out of his head. Like it's just there's always
bleeding
something.
Out of his head doesn't matter.
I don't care. There's always something, and he's not always going to be on the court. And
he's absolutely not always going to be on the court.
And if you're a team like the Suns, you need somebody who's always going to be on the court if you want a chance to compete. You do. Because
I just don't
have
understand the sickness being the straw that broke the camel's back with this. It's crazy.
It's because there's always something. It's because there's always something. It's just because it's another. I don't care if it's not a leg injury. It's just there's always a reason he's bad, or there's always a reason he's not on the court. And I don't want this to come across like I fucking hate the guy. He was incredible in that NBA Finals. He helped them win that championship. Like they needed him. He gave them a huge boost in those games. But this is just who he is as a player. There is always some reason why he is bad or unable to be at his best. You go back to the Mavs days, tore his ACL. Was bad when he got back healthy because he was still dealing with the remnants. Sucks. I'm sorry. That's awful. Comes back to Boston. Not healthy immediately. Like he's dealing with degenerative knee stuff. He's not on the court. He has to get the surgery after the finals because he has you can treat the sickness in the same realm as the rarest knee or foot injury on the planet. There's just always something. His body is just not like maybe it's just a body thing. Maybe his body is just not like built to sustain this level of constant movement, of constant like high level, high intensity play. Whether it is jarring to his knees, whether it is the rarest footage on the planet, whether it is his fucking lungs, like maybe his body is just not built to play this high level basketball for this long. It is just, there's always something. And if you're the Suns, and if you're a team that has no wiggle room of whether or not you can be good or bad, I'd rather have a guy who can consistently play 70 games for me than a guy that you really just can never know, unfortunately.
I think the body piece here is the best argument I've heard. Like maybe he's just not physically built for it. I separate the sickness in the even like the ankle thing that was a freak thing.
They're
like,
different things. They are 100% different things.
There's like probably some structural issue that like led to that. Like other issues put it more of a strain on that. Like whatever you want to like point to. Like oftentimes with like physical injuries, there are like, unless it's like a break or something, there are like factors where something's tight, so it's pulling on this thing that's making more stress on this thing, and it causes it to be injured. So his injury history may have had an impact on the rare ass ankle thing. The sickness thing is different, but if you want to equate it to he's just physically like his body just really isn't built for it, sure, I guess.
At this point,
I
listen. Even
I separate the two things. I
Sure.
think there's a real case for just the he is always injured, but the sickness should not be the like he has no hope thing. Like it's just such a weird. It's so different to me.
But he still wasn't on the court. Like that,
the result was he. Well, actually, the problem was he was on the court.
Exactly. Like even if they're
That was
completely
actually the
not connected,
problem.
the problem with trading for Porzingis is that no matter if it is a degenerative knee injury, random sickness, or quite literally one of the rarest foot injuries we've ever had to talk about in the sports space, there's always something. And if you're a team that has no wiggle room of whether or not you're going to be good or bad, or you can compete or not, I can't trade for that level of question mark. Like I can't. And it's hard because it's not his fault. It's just him. That's just who he is as a player, right? Like it's just tough.
Anyways, back to the Suns. All right, so like I do not think the Phoenix Suns are going to be a legitimate, good, competitive Western Conference team next year. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying by freeing up, or I will say this, breaking up Kevin Durant's money into multiple players makes it easier for them to actually have a decent supporting cast around somebody who's actually a good player in Devin Booker.
For sure. Yeah, no, for sure.
And
the problem is,
I mean, ideally, you would have liked to keep Durant and get rid of Beal.
I was going
to
say
the same thing with that.
That's the problem.
The Beal thing is a problem. For those wondering, The Athletic did report they are interested in trading Bradley Beal. So they know that it would be a good thing to dilute his salary.
Yeah, no. Yeah, the Suns are cooked. They're in a bad spot.
But like Brooks isn't like a dog shit player. Like he's okay. Like he can do good things for you. Jalen Green is a wild card, which is probably
they got the right one this time too.
Yes, they did. They that was a good callback. Shout out to Providence College from Marshawn Brooks.
What a guy.
I don't think it's going to be like an immediate turnaround for Phoenix, but it is a step in the right direction. And just for being a narratives guy, I'm rooting for Booker to stay there and have some success in a new era of Suns basketball.
If I'm the Suns, though, I trade him. I have to, you have to think of the best for your organization. Keeping him there is not the best for your organization anymore. I'm sorry, it's not. You have no hope
for him.
What are your chances of the Suns winning a championship in the next 5-6 years?
That's like a long window, but OKC makes it dim.
OKC, Houston, even with KD for two of them, and then Amen Thompson, Albert, and Şengün for the rest of them. Like, it's hard, man. That Western Conference is a bloodbath. Like,
it is a bloodbath. There's a lot of variables. Like, okay, the Spurs.
Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag's an interesting one because I don't know how good the supporting cast is going to be around him down the line.
But even you have Kyrie for 2 years after he comes back, theoretically, AD for 3 years, even on and off the court. Derek Lively. Like, I'm just saying, like, it is tough to be in the Western Conference. OKC, like you said. Who else? Who are we missing? We're definitely missing teams. The Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards. You have Jokic. You have Luka on the Lakers.
My point is, if you're Phoenix and you keep Devin Booker, it's not apples to apples because the picks are very different. They don't have a lot of draft picks. With that being said, would you like to get draft picks back for Booker? Yes, that is an absolute check mark. But if you were to keep him and You hit on your 10th pick. It turns out to be someone who can be a real asset to help you win. Maybe it becomes a little bit easier to make noise in the West. I don't know. I don't know what draft picks they have down the line. So that makes the argument a lot more diluted. I'm losing my.
Let me see. I can tell you what draft picks they have. So the Suns, obviously, they have the 10th pick this year, because they just got it in the Durant trade. I'm loading right now. They have the least favorable of the Cavs and Timberwolves picks.
So not a good pick.
Because the Jazz traded for their pick this year. Next year, the Grizzlies are going to own it because it was from the Magic deal. But the Suns have the option. The Suns will still have a pick, but it's the least favorable of the Suns, Wizards, and now Magic picks, I think. So not very good, in theory. Then they're going to have the same thing with the Wizards, whatever. So that's their only pick next year. 2027, their pick belongs to the Rockets straight up. They have some swap stuff with the Timberwolves, Jazz, Cavs again. So not get the least favorable of those. Not very good. 2028. When's the first time they actually have their rights to their own pick? That's what I just want to see. That's all I want to see.
For a while.
2032.
Okay, so maybe there's not as much hope. I think you're actually right. Trading Booker is the only way to actually get draft capital and be able to bring in new talent. That doesn't
sucks. I would like to see him stay in Phoenix, but you have what's your avenue to contending? Unless, like you said, if Cedric Howard, you get him with the 10th pick and he turns out to be a godsend, then sure, fucking go for it. But
Pistons, get on the phone.
Yeah, that'd be really good for them. Anybody in the East, please get on the phone.
Please
send me. All right, Ratless, Sam, what do you got?
Ratlist is Ratlist is Robin Hood. So I have friends that are into stocks and stuff. They know about it, they're interested in it, and they'll hit the group chat I like this stock. I do not know a lot about stocks, but I take the advice. I don't buy much. Today I went to put $100 into this stock, right? And I go on Robinhood, I click the stock, I hit buy, and I put in 100 and I hit buy. And then I realized that Robinhood did not ask me how many dollars I would like to put into the stock, but how many shares of the stock I would like to buy. So I had bought 100 shares of the stock, not $100 worth. I immediately sold it and just did what I meant to do. But then I realized that a stock that I took a tip on last week, I did buy X amount of shares. So
did it go up?
No. I didn't lose that much money. But I was I was so confused one of the days. I was man, the percentage, the dip shouldn't be that crazy. None of my stocks are really losing that much money. How did I have this bad of a day? The reason why is because I just happen to have a lot of investment in a certain stock. So I was
what's the stock that screwed you?
I don't know. I think it was some health company. I'm sure in the long term it will be good, but it was a tough moment for me to be I didn't realize I put that much money in. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
But we're good. Everything I want is set now. I have no surprises.
Rallis the Heat, man. This is awful. This is gross. I haven't eaten yet today. It's noon, so it's not that crazy. I woke up at 10:30, so it was fine. But I want to go get Dunkin'. I always get the $6 meal deal. I get my coffee, hash browns, sandwich. It's fine. It is a 7-minute walk down the street. I have no interest in walking that 7 minutes. It is disgustingly hot out. I know I'm gonna sweat. I might drive. I might go get my car and drive. It is that gross out. I just truly have no interest in walking in that heat. I just fuck the Heat, man. Fuck them for not trading for Kevin Durant. Fuck them for ruining my morning.
I'm in the same boat. I'm thinking about the Heat tomorrow.
102 tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a chance that I get up at 5 or 6 in the morning and go running because I don't want to deal with it during the day.
Terrible.
It's a real reality this time of year. The good thing about like it being hot in June in particular. Oh fuck! By the way, the clocks are actually going the other way now, which kind of stinks.
What do you mean?
June 21st is like the longest day of the year, and then it gets worse. Like the sun starts going down sooner. But what's really fun about like this time of year is that if you get up at 5, like the sun's up. It's actually
It's
not
gonna be
that bad.
76 at 5 tomorrow. By the way,
That's okay.
Ugh.
That's doable. But I hate the heat. I was at an engagement party yesterday, and it was outside, and we were just sitting in the shade, and I was like still sweating. I was like, damn. And we were trying to take a picture.
Oh my god,
of
I
all
have
of
a
us at
game
the end.
tonight. I have a softball game at 6:30. It's gonna be 88.
Ugh, terrible. At least like there's not like a ton of moving around at softball. Still not fun.
I play first base, so I really don't have to move.
Yeah. So we were trying to get a picture like of all of us at the thing, and they were doing the thing where they do the timer on the phone, and then running to get in the picture. We probably did like 5 or 6 takes, and I was like, "Hey, I'll take the picture if we want."
How long did you set
Sun
the timer
beaten
for?
down. 10 seconds.
How could you not get set in 10 seconds?
It's just how it is.
Man. That's funny. Man. I don't know. What are outlets? The heat's just the really only thing that's been kicking my ass lately. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've been pretty normal. Summer league's right around the corner. Everything's right around the corner now because this finals went game 7.
Excited.
So it's like
Yeah.
right coming up.
We'll have like actual non like rumor content to talk about, even if it's like about like just minute stuff. It'll be cool to see whatever rookies.
The draft,
playing.
yeah, the
What do we think?
trades. Yeah. We'll see, man. I'm excited for the offseason. Yeah, I don't know.
Rat list is Kayla and I went to the beach on Saturday, which see the face, you understand. The beach is not my favorite thing to do. I don't really care for the beach.
I've come around a little bit. Like I don't like it, but I don't like absolutely despise it like I used to.
I did beach the right way. I sat in the chair, feet were on the blanket the whole time, didn't get up, didn't get sand on me. I hate getting sand on me. There were little kids around doing cartwheels, fucking kicking up sand, getting on like our space. What the fuck? Like
Everyone knows if you're gonna do cartwheels at the beach, you go do it down by the water where the sand is compact, so it doesn't get everywhere.
everybody knows it.
Everybody knows. If you do anything, that's where you run, that's where you play, that's where you like fuck around because it's flat, because it won't get all over you.
Correct. Also, Kaylin was eating an orange, and a seagull just came down and landed on her head, and then snatched the orange.
Landed on her head.
Yeah, this was moments after she was like hard selling me on the beach. She's like, I don't know why you don't really like it. Like it's so
Did she
great.
freak
Like, when I
out?
was a kid, yeah, she
she
wasn't
was fine?
happy. She was like we would all come, like we would have food, like it was so much fun. Like I love the beach. And then the seagull was like, get fucked on.
My favorite part of it at the beach is the little extra crunch you get in
Leaving?
your sandwich. The little extra crunch you get when you eat your sandwich on the beach. It's just the little grains of fucking sand.
She was like, it's such a nice like place to eat. Like it's like one of my favorite. I'm like, what? No.
No.
Like, I actually prefer to
Absolutely
eat
not.
at the table.
My favorite part of the beach is whenever we would leave the beach when I was a kid, we'd go back to the car and we brought big jugs of water to like dump on our feet to wash our hand off. That was like my release. I got back in the car. I was like, let's fucking go. I'm out of
Nice
here now.
and clean.
Exactly.
I had a fine time.
Exactly, it's always fine.
I'm not trying to project like I didn't enjoy spending time with my girlfriend.
No. And listen, whenever I'm at the beach, I always end up having an okay time. Like I'll go in the water, I'll throw a ball around. Like
I
it's
wasn't going
fine.
in the water. She was like, "Do you want to go in the water?" And then I watched her go in the water, and it was so clear how cold it was. I was like, "What are we doing?"
No, I'll go throw a ball around. Like I'll make my, have a fun time. I'll make a fun time for myself. But if the options are, let's go to the beach or let's do another activity that's not the beach, I'll almost always pick, let's do another activity that's not the beach.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, that's it for me.
All right. I'm going to go drive my car 2 minutes down the road because I want to walk in the heat. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to Bout Them Celtics, and I'll say take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you're feeling ahead of the NBA draft. It should be a fun night tomorrow night. I don't know if we are you going to the Auerbach Center?
I'm not sure. We haven't gotten an email yet.
Okay. I'll probably do a stream with First to the Floor regardless, and then if you're here, maybe we can do it all together. I don't know what's happening. You know what? Just take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. It's a thought, listeners, okay? But we are going to have plenty of draft content. There are going to be more prospect videos coming out, so be on the lookout for those. And subscribe to the channel because we are here every single day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, game recaps for the morning after each game. And other videos are on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. And if any news breaks, we're here, so hit the bell. This is news season. You can find us on Spotify and Apple. All pods, recaps, and breaking newsers will be up there. So if you just want the audio versions of those, go ahead and follow. They will go right into your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's just the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Twitter's Jack's NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.